What's up, Marvel United family? Welcome to the channel. Servant Zero here, aka Mr. Perry, and today we'll be showcasing and reviewing the anti-hero Max Eisenhart, who later changed his name to Eric Maximoff, and those who are new to the comics know him as Magneto from Marvel United X-Men Season 2 Core Box. Let's go! All right, guys, let's check out Magneto's hero cards. He has his standard 12 when he's acting as a hero. He's going to start it off with his wild and then a double wild. And if you are playing it in the heroic challenge, the hardest challenge it is so far in the game, Magneto will have one wild card plus. I'll say plus because he's a unique character. So going to continue with a heroic action, a move and punch, a punch, a double punch, another double punch, and Magneto has 4 special effect cards. His first set being Magnetokinesis, triple punch, split as you like in your and adjacent locations. And unfortunately, this one doesn't come with anything for his teammates, but it could still be helpful. And he has 2 of these. His next one is Genius Intelligence. This turn, you can treat all move actions as wow. And it comes with a move. So what would make him a unique character, because even though he only has 1 wild in his deck after, if you playing it on the heroic challenge, he would still have the ability to change the move actions into wild. So that's kind of cool. And his last one, Prodigal Intelligence. This turn, you can treat all symbols as wows. So that is really cool. And it comes with his wow, his final wow. But of course, he can do plus. He could have the ability to do more wows than just that. So he's a cool hero, guys. Really enjoyable to play. All right, that being his hero deck. Now let's talk about his villain deck. Magneto as a villain comes with special setup. You will replace the rescue civilian mission with the use Cerebro mission. And he qualifies as a supervillain, which means that he's able to be played by a human as a 5th player. And the heroes are going to get the tokens divvied out to them, as you see here, for them to divide it up how they see fit. So Magneto is going to have a health of 10 when fighting 4 heroes, a health of 7 when fighting 3 heroes, a health of 5 when fighting 2 heroes. His villainous plot: the heroes lose if at any moment there are no civilians at any locations. His special rules: at the start of each villain turn, add a civilian in the location opposite of Magneto's. His BAM effect: add 1 thug and deal 1 damage to each hero in Magneto's location. Each hero in this and adjacent locations must discard 1 action token if they have any. His overflow effect: if 1 or more civilians or thug tokens can't be added to a location, turn all civilians in that location and in both adjacent locations into thugs. Wow. Yes, he does, guys. All right, let's take a look at his cards here, his villain cards here. He's got a move of 3. He's going to put out some thugs. Magneto doesn't have any trigger effect, guys, in his deck. So in his threats, so you guys don't have to worry about that. You can just play him as normal. He's going to have another move of 3 and put out some thugs. A move of 4, bam, and put out some thugs. 1 and a bam and put out some thugs. 2 and a bam and put out some thugs. 1 and a bam and put out some thugs. 0 and a bam and puts out some thugs. 2 and a bam and puts out some thugs. And Magneto has 4 special effect cards, guys. His first set being Organic Iron Manipulation. Give each hero 1 crisis token, then each hero takes the number of damage equal to the crisis tokens. And he's gonna put out a thug, and both of them are the same, but one has a move of 2. His next 2, Magneto's Helmet. Until the next villain turn, cancel all special effects on hero cards, and Magneto and his henchmen ignore the first damage each hero turn. And he's going to put out 2 thugs, same as this one. All right, guys, that being Magneto's villain deck, let's check out his threats. His threat cards here. First henchman is going to be Mastermind. He's going to have a health of 4, and on a bam, heroes in this and adjacent location reveal 1 random card from their hand. For each punch at the bottom of the revealed card, discard 1 civilian from that hero's location. His next henchman, Blob. Gonna have a health of 5. He activates on the bam. Discard 1 civilian from this location, deal 1 damage, and give 1 crisis token to 1 hero in this location. Heroes using moves to leave this location must use 2 instead. Man, the Blob trying to trap you in there, huh? His next henchman, Quicksilver, of course, right? Has a health of 4, activates on a bam. Deal 1 damage to the hero with the most cards in hand. If multiple heroes are tied, the heroes choose. His last henchman, Scarlet Witch, has a health of 4. She'll activate on a bam. Each hero in this location must take a random card from their hand and remove it from the game. Wow. His next threats are going to be the same. Magnetic Force Field. As long as Magneto is in this or adjacent location, he can't be damaged, and it's going to take 4 heroic action, guys, to get rid of both of these. That is a very unique here in Season 2. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, all right? That being Magneto, let's see how it works. All right, family, let's check out Magneto's special effect cards here when he is a hero. His first 2 is pretty self-explanatory. Magnetokinesis. You're going to triple punch, split as you like in your and adjacent locations. And he has 2 of these guys. So basically, he's just going to decide if he wants to, if the villain is vulnerable, he could triple punch over here. He could do a punch here. He could do a punch here, or he could do a punch here. If you had multiple, say you had multiple thugs there, you could triple punch. If there are no special threats that's on the board that will empower these guys to take double damage, he'd be able to knock all 3 of these guys out. If it was 3 over here, he'd be able to knock all 3 of them out. So that's pretty much it, guys. However, you decide to split it up, you have your opportunity to hit 3 times and do some good for the team. All right, his next one is Genius Intelligence. This turn, you can treat move actions as wows. And so let's say Professor Xavier, old Charles here, went before him. Sorry about the glare, guys. So if Professor Xavier went before him and then Magneto went, he'd be able to use both of the move actions as wows, which would be very helpful to the team. Really, really cool, guys. He's a great hero. He really is a good hero. All right, and that's that one. That's his genius intelligence. All right, and his last one is prodigal intelligence. This one, he can treat all symbols as wow symbols. So let's say Scott, Cyclops here, went before him. He'd be able to have 3 wows because he's going to turn those heroic actions into wows if you desire. You know, however it is, whatever's going on the field there, and you know what you need at that time, you have that option and that ability to change it into wows, which then you'd be able to do better things or more helpful things. And the same thing here. If Professor Xavier went before, he'd still be able to change all of them into wows. So that's very, very helpful for the team, guys. I'm telling you, Magneto is an excellent, excellent hero, guys. He does well in certain scenarios or certain situations. He's really, really a cool hero, as well as the villain. So let's get into his villain cards, guys. All right, guys, let's check out Magneto as a villain here. He is going to have a special setup, replace the rescue civilian mission with the use Cerebro mission. And again, he qualifies as a super villain, so that means that he's able to be played as by a human as the 5th player, and of course the heroes will get the starting tokens as indicated here, and they can divide up amongst themselves. Now, let's talk about this Cerebro. Instead of using your rescue civilian, you're going to use Cerebro, and you would put it here as a mission. Now, it's okay to me. With playing a villain like Magneto, your movement, your actions, they're really important, especially your heroic actions, because with you trying to get rid of the threats and you know, maybe fighting the henchmen, I don't really know. Maybe if it was more beneficial to unlock Cerebro, I can see this card sitting here always in this location and nobody even dealing with it, because there is really no real benefit to use it. Maybe if they had like a special ability, like you're able to see the top 3 or 4 villain deck cards, or maybe the top 2 or 3, you know, something that was really worth you wanting to spend your actions to unlock this. With it just being a regular, instead of putting civilians down, you're just going to be putting your 3 heroic actions and your 3 moves down. I don't really see. I just see it sitting in this location always like this right here, or in another one. But most of the time, everybody just puts this stuff right here just to unlock the first 2, and then you're able to, you know, attack the villain and beat him up. So I could see this Cerebro really not being used often, and really not, you know, seeing any action, unless, again, like I say, Simon maybe comes up with a more incentive to want to use it. And so, like I said, maybe being able to use it to see the top 3 or 4 villain deck cards, that would be helpful. And that would be more of an incentive to want to unlock it so that you can see, guaranteed, not guaranteed, but I understand maybe you can make it have to be in this card, in this location. That would make, you want to work for it a little more, I guess, depending on if, you go down a little line or whatever, but, house rules, you could do kind of what you want, fixed up however you want, unlock it when you want to unlock it. But maybe with that being that it would have to be here, to unlock it. I'm not sure, guys. I'm just rambling here. But yeah, I don't see this getting too much action, having to use your actions like that. So anyway, you'd set that up there and replace it with the rescue mission. So his next going on here, he's going to have his special rules. At the start of each villain turn, add a civilian to the location opposite of Magneto. Magneto will start with 10 health when he's fighting against 4 heroes, 7 health when fighting against 3 heroes, and 5 health when fighting against 2 heroes. His villainous plot: the heroes lose if at any moment there are no civilians at any location. So when you're fighting Magneto, guys, be careful not to... the overflow is going to come into effect, and trying to save enough civilians to where you can keep the overflow down, but not wanting to have the civilians disappear on you or be taken out on you so that you can end up losing the game. So it's kind of like a little tug of war here. But it's really, really cool how it works like that. It's really cool like that, especially when you're playing it in the heroic challenge where most of your characters may not have all those extra wild cards to be able to, play with a little bit. So it gets really challenging like that. So, but it's always fun. You be scratching your head, you be thinking hard strategically, but it's always fun, guys. So his BAM effect: add 1 thug and deal 1 damage to each hero in Magneto's location. Each hero in this and adjacent location must discard 1 action token if they have any. So basically, guys, if you guys have been playing throughout the game and you have earned yourself some tokens, when he bams, every time he bams, you will be forced to forfeit 1 of your action tokens, right? That's a trip, right, guys? And of course, if we're in his location, if you're in his location, you're going to receive that 1 damage, of course. And again, he bams and he's going to put out a thug every time he bams. So if you're in his location, you'll receive that damage. If you're in opposite locations, adjacent locations, be it here or here, adjacent to him, you will be forced to give up your tokens if you have received any, not wild tokens, but any tokens that you may have received throughout the game thus far. So that being his BAM effect. His overflow: if 1 or more civilian or thug token can't be added to a location, turn all civilians in that location and both adjacent locations into thugs. So this is where it gets dangerous with the overflow. So this is why I was telling you guys, you want to make sure that you have, that you're saving your civilians so that they won't cause an overflow. But at the same time, you don't want to have too few of them, because if they disappear, or if they so happen to change them all out in certain locations, then you will lose the game. So You can imagine if you were here, it was like this. And let's see. Yeah, we're gonna use this one and this one. Okay, so these are gonna be the adjacent. So you had like this right here. Let's get this set up, guys. I wanna get the visual for you guys. Let me see if I can bring this down a little more for you guys. For now, yeah, there you go. All right. So we're gonna get this set up. So, boom. Okay. Let's say in the X-jet location right here, it caused an overflow, okay? So, because you couldn't add a thug to that location, all of your civilians are going to now become thugs. They're gonna still maintain the lot. You still have all of them there, but now they're thugs. Let's say you guys didn't have any civilians over here because you guys had plenty over here. And because this one thug came out, or because we didn't pay attention to that location, it caused that overflow, which then turned all of your civilians that you had into thugs. And just like that, you've lost the game. So again, guys, be careful with that overflow. Be careful with your balancing. That's a good word for it. Balancing your civilians and thugs. Making sure that you have enough civilians left on the board so that you could be able to, stay alive. But not too many to where they will cause the overflow. All right, so let's check out Magneto's threat cards here. This first one is going to be Scarlet Witch. She is going to activate on the BAM. She is going to have a health of 4. Each hero in this location must take a random card from their hand and remove it from the game. This could be devastating, guys, because it's not one hero, each hero. So that means even though you guys have your deck, removing one of your cards from the deck, oh, wow, that could still be hurtful, guys, because remember, sometimes you lose a card or sometimes you get damaged and you just put it at the bottom of your deck, but you at least are still able to use it. Well, this happens, you're not able to use that one. So if you are playing in the Heroic Challenge, you only have 10 cards, guys. You don't have the 12. I'm sorry, Magneto. I don't mean to knock you out there, dog. You only have the 12 cards if you're playing on Heroic Challenge. So you only have 12. So you're looking at these two right here, the two wilds here, they're already gone. You won't have them. So you only have the 10 left. So to have to go through your hand and, is it your hand or deck? Let's see what she say. It's a random card from your hand. Okay, so that's even worse because let's say you had some good, let's say you had a pretty decent hand here, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we're gonna get rid of this one, right? But man, okay, so you would remove this from the game. It doesn't go back to the bottom of your deck, guys. It goes completely out of the game. So now, again, you're left with only like 9 or 8 or 7 cards in your hand, guys. That can be really devastating, especially depending on the match and how long it can stretch out. Man, that can really catch up to the heroes, guys, and really it can catch up to you. So be careful with that one. So that Scarlet Witch there, yeah, I think we probably want to get her out of there about that. The next one is going to be Quicksilver. He's going to activate on a BAM. He has a health of 4. Deal 1 damage to the hero with the most cards in hand. If multiple heroes are tied, Heroes choose. So basically, guys, whoever have the most cards in their hand, they're going to be dealt the damage. If you guys are tied, you guys pick amongst yourselves who will receive the damage. And again, this is where the tanks of the team can come in at. Those characters who have like the huge hands, you know what I'm saying? You can have like 6, 7 cards in your hand, you know what I'm saying? It's thing that can help the team out like that to keep a team from receiving that damage. His next henchman here, Blob. He's going to activate on a BAM. He has a health of 5. I think, honestly, the Blob, I get it. I get it why they gave him a health of 5, but I'm thinking this guy should at least had a health of 6 or 7. Because the Blob is like one of those, he's like a tar pit, okay? He could slow you down. He could kind of slow you down a lot. So I'm surprised they gave him 5 health on that. I would have expected him to have at least 6 health, 7 for sure. But I mean, they gave Crossbones 6 health. So I mean, hey, I still think the Blob should have about 6 or 7 health. But anyway. He activates on a BAM. He's going to discard 1 civilian from this location, deal 1 damage, and give 1 crisis token to 1 hero in this location. Heroes using move actions to leave this location must use 2 move actions instead. That's the Blob, one of Magneto's henchmen, how he works there. Let's see, his next henchman is going to be Mastermind. He's going to activate on a BAM. He's going to have a health of 4. Heroes in this and adjacent locations reveal 1 random card from their hand. For each punch action at the bottom of the revealed card, discard 1 civilian from that hero's location. Okay. I'm going to put him right here. All right, so you guys get hit and you have to do your little random, which we all understand. Those of us who play Marvel United, we know when they say random, that means you take your hand, all right? You flip your cards over and you just shuffle them up right quick. And then whatever cards you pick out, boom, that'd be the card. Ah, man. That'd be the card that you'd have to put to the bottom. No. I'm sorry. I'm misreading it wrong. Okay, so you're safe with this. Because it's a wild, you could be safe. Now, because you don't have any punches, you don't have any punch actions in your hands, you'll be good. So yes, let me make sure that. So as long as you don't have any punch actions on there, you'll be good with that. All right, guys, I was misreading that for a minute there. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I get that, tell you guys the right way. Yes, so as long as you don't have any punch actions at the bottom of those revealed cards, you won't have to remove or discard the civilian from that location. So be sure you guys, if you got them in there and you have to shuffle them, let's hope you don't pick the one with the punch action on it, all right? All right. And his last 2 here, his magnetic force field. As long as Magneto is in this or adjacent location, he can't be damaged. And again, it's going to take 4 heroic actions to get rid of these. So depending on where these guys fall on the board here when you are playing, Magneto is not going to be getting any damage. And again, lies using Cerebro. Why would I want to unlock this and I have no benefit from unlocking it, and then have to spend 4 of my heroic actions to get rid of these magnetic force fields, depending on like where they land on your board and how often he's in there, and you can't take damage if they're there. You know what I'm saying? It's little stuff like that, but it's okay. It can be done. He's not that difficult. He's difficult, but he's not that difficult. Even at the heroic challenge, you can still get him. The core team, X-Men team that comes with the box. They did a great job working together, being able to keep him down, keep him at bay, using your heroic actions and keeping it pretty balanced, being able to get rid of the henchman and get him on down. But he could be challenging in some cases. If his cards fall right, he could be very difficult. So again, that being Magneto and his threat cards there. Now let's talk about his special effect cards here. Now, Magneto has 4 special effect cards. His first pair is going to be Organic Iron Manipulation. Give each hero 1 crisis token, then each hero takes the number of damage equal to their crisis tokens. Now, Magneto is going to be a crisis-giving boss, so that means you being a hero, he and the Blob, I believe, yes, are going to be passing out crisis tokens to you as a hero. There is no indication that you can get rid of the crisis tokens, so they are permanent throughout the game, guys. So again, be careful. If you are given these crisis tokens, you keep them, and if he pulls his Organic Iron Manipulation, your damage will be dealt by the number of crisis tokens that you have collected throughout the game, guys, all right? So y'all make sure y'all be careful, do what you can do to try not to get these boys. But I mean, hey, it happens, all right? So his next one, and that being his Organic Iron Manipulation, all right? His next 2 is going to be Magneto's Helmet. Until the next villain turn, cancel all special effects on hero cards, and Magneto and his henchmen ignore the first damage each hero turn. So don't misread this one, guys, because this one is a trip. If he pulls this and you have you have a hero that have your special effect, right? You have your special effect on here, right? And you were gonna use your special effect. Now your special effect is canceled, okay? And not only that, if he was vulnerable or his henchman is still on the battlefield, they will ignore the first hit from each hero. As each hero. So if you have your team of 4 and you guys are playing, each hero will go through the cycle before these guys will be able to be hit again. So it's like, oh dang. So if you may have 2 punches, they're gonna ignore that first one, and then boom, and then you go to the next one. You may have 1 punch, you won't be able to punch any of them. Again, you may have 1 punch, you won't be able to punch any of them. And then maybe Jean Grey here, she'll have 2 punch, and she'll be able to hit 1 instead of 2. She'll be able to only hit 1. So after that cycle, then everything will go back to normal, and hopefully you guys will, have some pretty good cards where you can get on in there and keep handling business. But other than that, it's fun as heck. So his Magneto's helmet is a real doozy, but it's not too bad. It's pretty good. So I would say, of course, Magneto is a great villain to fight, as well as a great hero on the team, man. He is a great anti-hero, guys. I love his mold. It's very, very cool. He's done it. Simon did a great job with this one, man. He's really cool again. I enjoyed playing against him. I enjoyed playing with him. Like I say, on the heroic on the heroic challenge, he can be very difficult. I could see if his cards line up just right. Yeah, he's gonna destroy you. Yeah. But other than that, a very fun character, very fun to play against and to have on your team. Again, this Cerebro, I don't too much care for that one. I won't be using it myself. I just keep using the regular save civilian card. And, you know, if you're playing against Magneto, just, you know, don't get rid of all your civilians, you know. It's a nice little balancing trick there. But that being said, guys, that's Magneto coming from the core box of Marvel United X-Men Season 2, guys. Anti-heroes have been introduced and they are fun. So again, if you guys like what I'm doing, hit that thumbs up, subscribe. You guys stay safe out there and be blessed. And I will see you guys in the next one.